Alright, welcome back to the channel, my friends. Today we're diving into step 63, which focuses on the two front hatches, one for the driver's side and one for the bow machine gun operator side. We'll start working with the parts, but I'm going to hold off installing the clear parts and the photo etch part PE5 until the very end of the build. This is to prevent the PE from falling off or getting knocked off during the process, and the clear part will be added down the line after painting. So let's get started. So don't put too much glue in here, because what's going to happen is the glue will melt the plastic, and then what will happen is it'll ooze out and it'll look really gross. So just use enough glue to hold it in place. These inserts are a bit of a tight fit, but they fit good. Alright, next up is we got the little grab handles, and just gonna snip them off here. I'm just gonna glue them in like this with the little nubs on them, and I'll come back later when the glue is set up and they're solid, and clean up the little attachment points then. It's a lot easier than trying to do it now when they're like this, because they'll probably break. I'm not too sure, but I think I used the wrong set of grab handles here. A very slight width difference made the fitting a little bit more difficult. I didn't really realize this until later on, and I think I did switch them out. But just double check the part number before you snip them off the tree and use them.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
All right, let's take a quick look at the radio parts here. The early M3 Stuart light tank was equipped with the SCR-210 radio. This radio was a part of the Signal Corps Radio SCR series used by the U.S. military during World War II. The SCR-210 was designed for use in armored vehicles and provided essential communication capabilities for coordination and command within tank units and between tanks and infantry or other support units.
I watched a snail crawl along the edge of a straight razor. That's my dream. It's my nightmare. Crawling slowly along the edge.
So there's the radio.
Straight razor. And surviving.
All right, now we're going to go back to step 57 and 58. I've got to make 2 copies of each of these. There's 2 ammo cans that are for the sponson machine guns, and then there is also spare ammo cans. There's 2 of those as well. Okay, here I'm putting together actually a larger ammo box that is in step 58. These small parts are a bit tricky to handle. All right, let's put the lid on these U.S. Browning 30 cal M1919 ammo boxes. So just to clarify, what it is I've got one magnet attached to the top piece. You saw me work on that in the last video, and I glued a small micro magnet to the top of the armor. And now what I've done is I've taken another small micro magnet and I've stuck it to that magnet that's already in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 drops of glue on either side on top of where the intake pipe was. You saw me snip it, and that glue will attach itself to the second magnet that is attached to the first one. And when I put the cover down on top of the tank, then it will align up perfectly. The glue will cure, That magnet, when I go to lift the top off, will stay in place inside of the engine bay. And the one that is on the top piece of the armor will stay on it. So then when I go to put it together with the magnets, they're perfectly aligned.
So we got that to paint. Got to paint these. I've still got to add a little bit of PE or something to these. Machine guns. Here's the radio. Okay, these magnets seem to be working for me.
So while it might not be very accurate to have these two magnets sitting there when you lift off the lid, I don't think they'll be that noticeable compared to the benefits of being able to see the interior of the engine bay. Anyway, I'm thinking I might do the same thing here. I mean, here's the, that's that thing that goes, this panel goes here. One thing I will suggest you really keep track of is how these fit, because I had to sand this one down a bit and it still could go down more. This one is good, but when I was sanding this one, I had an issue and I damaged that paint. Should be an easy fix though. So you can add that. But what I'm thinking of doing is putting in two magnets on either corner here. I think I want to glue this part in right now. Just so I can see if that's going to work for me. I'm not going to glue it here because I want to be able to maybe see if I can do that where I can lift this off. Before I got into building these Stuart tanks, I didn't realize that actually there's two machine guns on each side mounted onto the sponson. And these are not movable. The sponson guns were fired by the driver via switches near the top of his steering levers, with the left and right levers controlling the left and right sponson machine guns, respectively. So what I'm doing here is I'm gluing in these trays and chutes for the ammo belts that are stored in the ammo boxes that are attached to these guns. I've painted them white previously, and next time I might investigate whether it's okay for me to just glue them on while it's bare plastic to the sponson floor part while it's unpainted as well, and maybe I'll have a more secure bond. But again, this is the first time I've built this kit, so, you know, live and learn. In any case, I got everything in place perfectly well.
All right. So the arrows are really deceptive for where these guns go. It almost looks like it goes in that hole, but they actually go into this thing here. Like that. So my strategy here is to let these harden up.
So now that these machine guns have been painted with the Humbrol metal coat and they've been allowed to dry, I come back in with a stiff brush and give them a nice little polish. The bow gun mount is a 3.5-inch ball mount in the bow gunner's compartment, and it mounts a caliber 30 machine gun and is operated by the bow gunner. The gun is manually fired by a trigger, and elevation and traverse are manually controlled by the gunner. We're going to take a left turn here, and I'm going to try making this front piece of armor plate removable using magnets like we did in the upper rear hull plate. I went through this exercise, but in the final analysis, as I had suspected, it would be really difficult to make this removable because of the way the fenders, the headlights, the horn, and other aspects of the front part of this tank are mounted. It would make it pretty difficult. So I went ahead with it anyways because I didn't know. Maybe it would work out okay. So to start off the process, I'm going to use some of the techniques I learned way back in 1975 in shop class. I don't know, do people still take shop class? I don't think so. It's probably all like computer classes now. Anyways, of course, you've got to start out with where are you going to start drilling. And to do that, I usually take a scratch awl or something like that, and I impress it into the surface, and that gives me a starting point. And then I start with a very small drill to get the hole going, and then I progressively get larger diameter drill bits until I'm at the point where I can fit the magnet. I wasn't able to actually do that and have it complete with the drill bits. I had to pull out my rotary tool and use that to sort of like dig out a little bit more of the plastic. But in the end, I was able to get the magnet to fit pretty good. Maybe what we gotta use I have to be very, very careful.
All right, now I gotta let that dry. And hopefully I can glue those to this thing and then they'll come apart, but we'll have to see. For sure we'll have to clean this. Probably got those backwards. Let's see. No, it goes to the inside. Gotta put my stronger glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe these are actually specific. So this one goes like this apparently. That's why. So that one points in and that one points that way as well. I guess that makes sense, right? So now we got this one.
From Technical Manual 9-726 for the Light Tank M3 regarding the machine gun's sponson mounts, a ball mount of a swivel type mounting a .30 caliber machine gun is located in each sponson. Elevation is adjusted manually and traverse is accomplished by steering of the vehicle. The sponson guns are fired electrically by the driver by compressing the switches near the top of each steering lever. Each switch connects with and fires its respective gun. The guns may also be fired manually by conventional triggers. Lubricate the ball mounts as shown on lubrication chart.
All right, that's amazing. So, I wonder if that's going to fit or not. I might have to drill those out, right? I'm curious to see if this worked. Let's see. It's not coming off. Ah, it worked. Look at that. Perfect. Okay. So that's great. Maybe I'll reinforce that glue on there. I'm going to have to paint that stuff, I guess. But that's great. All right, so now this one, I'm pretty sure the gun barrel is not going to fit. So we'll try though. So it looks like the narrow side should go on the inside. So this one goes on this side. No, I'm wrong. Obviously. Yeah, because of the guns. They're not handed. Okay, let's try and get that in there. Where's my tweezers? All right, so that's how the guns are going to line up. All right. Shoot. All right. Shoot. There we go. I'm going to temporarily put these in with an elastic band so I can line these front ones up. Okay, so this goes to the back. This one has a 45-degree angle or close to it. Now, all right. Now, all right. Yeah. There we go. So on the back, I guess this is for this side. So yeah, there's a little notch there. Right, okay. So there's a little notch on that side. Now, where the hell did that go? All right. I gotta cut that. Darn, I didn't clean it all up. Yow! There we go. All right. Where's the other one? All right, so that'll help everything line up. All right. I don't want it on there. Shoot. Oh well. I should be able to pry that loose.
You know, I sure wish somebody could design a cyanacrylate glue top and tip and cover and bottle that didn't malfunction like 1/3 of the way into using what's in the bottle. Like, there must be some kind of plastic out there where it doesn't screw up like this all the time. Okay, at this point, I'm going to reinforce the bond of these magnets and come back later and clean it up with some debonder on a Q-tip.
All right. All right, so I've taken these off, but you can see this tray, it sneaks up inside the, like if you look here, there's a little tab, and that goes on the inside of the mount. So I'm using a very tiny bit of glue on this side to see if I can do it. All right. Let's give this one just a titch of glue as well. Sweet. Now, all right, I'm going to try gluing these end pieces in now. Okay, so this goes on like this. Well, actually, yeah, I should do it. This has got to come off. This goes in like that. Then this one can go on. Shoot. Like that. Damn. All right. So that goes on like that. Shoot, this needs more glue. So this one I'm just going to put on for temporary, just so everything lines up. Yeah, I guess that's what I can do. Like that. And then we put this here. And then, well, let's take this one. Damn it. Damn it. All right. Okay. It's so much easier when you don't want to get fancy like what I'm doing. I could just glue everything together and it would be way easier. But, you know, I got to do the fancy shit with the magnets and whatnot. So, anyway, where's the other side panel? Huh? All right. All right. And then this guy, he can go like that. Okay. were to do this again, I've been thinking for a magnet, you could put one inside of there, and it might be strong enough that you could just plop that on and it would hold it. Okay, I think we're just going to take a break. I need to put some handles on here for the battery. And I could have done it before I put it in there, but I was already. The inertia. It should be an easy thing to do. Alright. Alright. You know what? I changed my mind. There we go. Let's try that again later. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this stuff. Even though it's so tempting.
With the rear armor magnets firmly in place, our attention shifted to the front armor plate. Carefully aligning and embedding the magnets as an experiment ensured a secure and seamless attachment. Whether we will continue to use those going forward, I have my doubts. The sponson-mounted Browning M1919 machine guns were carefully positioned and glued into place. These iconic weapons not only enhance the tank's historical accuracy, but also add a dynamic element to the overall build. Ensuring the machine guns are correctly aligned and securely affixed was a meticulous process, reflecting the attention to detail that characterizes this model. Finally, the sponson armor was installed, encapsulating the machine guns and providing the Stuart M3 with its distinctive armored silhouette. The addition of these components not only completes the sponson assembly, but also reinforces the tank's robust appearance. With step 11 completed, this Stuart M3 light tank is steadily coming together, each addition bringing us closer to a fully realized and historically accurate miniature. As we look forward to the next steps, the combination of precise engineering and careful assembly continue to bring this remarkable piece of history to life. Make sure you join us next time as we continue in the progress of this build from MiniArt. So all that's left to say is, in the meantime and in between time, that's another edition of Jet Scale Models. Y'all come back now, you hear?